I'm here to ask tonight for your vote on November 2nd. We all know that we're living in challenging times, and jobs and the economy are our #1 priority. My leadership has helped us move forward in our recovery from this global recession. We are doing better than most every other state. We've added more than 64,000 private sector jobs since January, and our economy is poised to expand by more than 200,000 jobs in the next 5 years. We've cut small business health care premiums by 10 to 12% and allowed small local business owners to grow and start hiring again. We've created a new, healthier business environment by lowering the corporate tax rate and streamlining the efforts of our economic development agencies. In fact, CNBC this year ranked Massachusetts the 5th best state in the nation to do business. Unemployment continues to drop, now down to 8.8%, well below the national average. And as we continue to help those who are still out of work, we should also be encouraged that the 3 major financial agencies have deemed Massachusetts strong AA bond rating, citing our effective management during an economic downturn. The determination and experience to work together and get through tough times, as I have done as a budget chief and now as President of the Senate, is essential to our success, and we are succeeding. Our economy has grown at twice the rate of the national economy, and our employment rate has expanded faster than it has in decades, with only one state getting more jobs in the past year. Our K-12 are #1. Our 4th and 8th graders are first in the nation, and 4th graders are second worldwide in science and math. We've passed the legislation allowing our military men and women overseas to vote electronically in their elections, and we continue to prioritize and fight for funding for early ed and mental health services.
We've been working on this campaign for the last 9 months, and finally we get to our first debate. I ran for this race, ran for this seat, for the reason that this district has been underrepresented for the past 18 years. My opponent would like to say that the economy is getting better. I'm a management consultant. All of my customers are saying that's not true. If you look at business, and you look at why they're hiring and why they're not hiring, a lot of it has to do with the over-regulation. We're looking at, we've got the medical bill that makes it so that if you have 10 full-time equivalents in your business, you must participate. Small businesses can't afford to participate. And if you look at the endless regulation coming in from all the multiple agencies, whenever a company is looking to expand, they have to go through multiple agencies and go through a permitting process that is just endless. The cost is endless. If you look at my opponent saying that the economy is getting better. Right now in Massachusetts, we have the 4th highest tax burden on businesses in the nation. If you look at the way business needs to expand, what they need to do is they need to have incentive. We need to reduce the taxes. We need to bring them down from 6.25 down to 5. We need to be competitive with our neighboring communities. The tax rates are going up and up and up. And over the terms of my opponent, over the last 4 years, there's been 8 tax increases that have been supported. Now you see in the paper that my opponent likes to say that she is a fiscal conservative. How can you call yourself a fiscal conservative when we're $2 billion in structural deficit, $1 billion in new taxes during a recession, and there's no end in sight? We passed a budget on one-time dollars. If you want someone that's strong on crime, that will not weaken the Corey bill, if you want someone that's strong on illegal immigration, if you want someone that's very strong on economic development, if you want someone that understands the impacts on communities, police, fire, DPW, schools, someone that's lived in that for the last 10 years, actually going on to 12 years. When you look at the regional aspect, that's me. If you want an efficiency consultant, someone that's been working with businesses for the past 12 years, making them more productive, helping them get past the state regulations. If you want someone that's an ethics and compliance officer, as I am, I work with federal monitors to make sure that there's a code of ethical conduct. If you want someone that is strong on all these areas, vote for Keys. Vote for me on November 2nd. I've been an ethics and compliance officer for the past few years. I go into companies that have had an infraction, or if the board of directors wants to go a different direction, Corruption up at Beacon Hill needs to stop. The legislature has exempted, the Senate has exempted themselves from the open meeting law. You all cannot go and view how your work is getting done. Their internal documents are also exempted from the Freedom of Information Act. You can't even see the documents on how they did it. Your Board of Selectmen, your Planning Board, all of the boards and committees in this Commonwealth have to do their work, which is your work, in front of you. It cannot happen at Beacon Hill. You want to understand why we have the bills that we have, the deals that we have, why we have bundling of amendments, the things that don't even make sense? It's because the light of transparency is not shining up at Beacon Hill. I'm going to bring that there. This is stuff I've done professionally.
Thank you very much. Transparency in the Senate. We hit one out of the park according to Mass Heritage and Common Cause. We are on streamed video. Everything we do, every vote we take is in the public eye. Every committee meeting is in the public eye. Unlike Tom, you were a selectman for so many years and voted over 100 times to go into secret session. So my continued dedication to the job of state senator comes down to the most important essential element, and that's you. Every day I challenge myself to address the important questions that affect you, your family, and our community. I know that jobs and the economy are the #1 concern for all of us. And as we continue to improve and recover from the worldwide economic crisis, we've taken a proactive approach to the challenge by doing all we can to make sure businesses have the best opportunity to set up shop right here. 2 new companies, 2 new manufacturing companies right here in our district that will create over 100 jobs in one and 100 in the other. Work2 and Hydra will be online by April of next year. We've helped small business owners by passing new measures that will cut the burden of health care by 10 to 12%. That means jobs. And we continue to reduce the corporate tax rate. That means more jobs for you, your families, and our communities. And that's going to continue to be my focus. And I know what it takes to get results. From revamping state welfare to authoring landmark transportation, pension, and economic development reforms, I have been a force for change my entire career. Securing funding to renovate a park, making a dangerous intersection safer, answering the call of a constituent to make sure families don't go bankrupt, caring for a critically ill child. I'm always here to listen, to respond to your needs. And I do it because I care, because I want a better life for all of us. And with your help, your support, and the faith you have in me, we will do it together. And to those who are still struggling, I know what it's like to try balancing the checkbook. You figure out. Thank you. Thank you.